I guess you love movies. I do too. Hi guys, and welcome back to another movie review. And today we are going to be reviewing, well I am going to be reviewing, not we, Creed 2, starring Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone, Dolph Lundgren, Tessa, Thompson, and directed by Stephen Cable Jr. And of course, the first Creed, we expected nothing. We were like, is this really another Rocky film? What is going on? And we watched it and we were like, wow, this is actually good. I mean, Ryan Coogler, of course, from that point onward, had already made Fruitvale Station, had proved himself as a capable upcoming director, and with Creed pretty much showed us all that he was going to be around. He was going to stick around. This guy was not some fluke. Went on to make Black Panther. This guy's on a roll, and I've been really enjoying his work. Unfortunately, he is not back to direct this movie. However, Stephen Cable Jr. from Cleveland, as I know, being a avid watcher of Chris Stuckman's videos, that he's come from a similar roots, and that was a good thing to hear going into this movie. His authentic sort of short film background, hoping that he will be able to bring all of that experience to the big screen for this huge sequel in Creed 2. So what's Creed 2 about? If you've seen the trailers, you'll know. So Creed, he's Adonis Creed, played by Michael B. Jordan. He's the champ. He's the guy. He's on the up, and then he hears about this upcoming dude in Russia. Happens to be the son of Ivan Drago, of course, the guy that killed his father Apollo Creed in the ring in Rocky 4, and he feels like he's destined. His legacy has to be built upon this moment. He has to, avenge the past in order to forge a path to the future for himself. He has to beat this guy, and that is pretty much the story of this movie. And what did I think of Creed 2? Well, I actually really enjoyed it. It isn't a perfect film. I don't think it's as good as the first film, but I wasn't really expecting it to be. It was pretty much exactly what I was expecting, and I did enjoy the film. Performance-wise, I really enjoyed Michael B. Jordan in this movie. He's very good in the first film. In this film, he might even be better. He is magnificent in this performance. He's so good. And when he really gets into, when in the emotional scenes, when he really gets into the feels, this guy is a top level actor. I mean, he's really, really good. And I really enjoyed his performance in this film. He was top notch. The rest of the supporting cast are very good. Tessa Thompson, Sylvester Stallone, Dolph Lundgren's very good in the movie. Everybody in the supporting cast gives a great account of themselves. This is an overall very well acted film, and it's good to see that Stephen Cable Jr. was made. This is a top level cast, but he managed to get great performances out of them. But then let's actually get onto the direction itself, because I really think this is a very assured movie. There's a lot of great shot selection. There's some really good really good framing here, movement of camera, really nice creative choices I really liked, draining out the sound in certain moments. I thought that was very, very well done. The cinematography is very good, and I really enjoyed. This is a very polished film. This looks very nice. It's very well directed, and it doesn't look like this is an amateur here. I'm not expecting him to be an amateur. I'm not saying that, but it doesn't look like a downgrade from Ryan Coogler. This looks like, if you had told me that Ryan Coogler had directed this film, I would not. I wouldn't blink an eye. It doesn't look like a downgrade, and that's being Ryan Coogler being one of the most up and coming directors in Hollywood right now. I can't really give Cable Jr. much more of a compliment than that. So yeah, also the fight scenes are fantastic, really, really good. Really enjoyed those. Specifically, the last fight scene. This is again extremely good filmmaking here. Very much similar to the fight scenes in the first film. I don't think they quite live up to the sort of that amazing sort of one-shot sort of situation in the first film, but you can't really do that exact same trick again. You have to try and evolve, and they do that very well with this film. I think the overall boxing scenes throughout the entire movie are very, very good and very well filmed. But as I said, there are issues with the movie. This isn't exactly perfect. You're always going to get your Rocky cliches, okay? You're going to get, and you're expecting that at this point. That isn't really a negative against the film, but there is kind of a blanket of cliches throughout the movie that make it quite easy to try and sort of draw the conclusions that have eventually come to pass. It's not a difficult movie to predict, it's not a difficult movie to understand. This movie does a lot of sort of genuinely obvious things that you've seen in a lot of other films and it's not particularly subtle with it. Its message isn't subtle either, and it seems like something I'm talking about a lot recently is unsubtle message. But this isn't very subtle. I mean, it's not Bohemian Rhapsody bad, but it's not great. You know, it's kind of obvious what they're going for, what they're shooting for here, and I like the message. The message is a great message, but it's a little bit overplayed in my personal opinion. So there you go. I really enjoyed Creed 2. I'm not going to say it's a perfect film, but I love the performances. The fight scenes were great. It was great, assured direction by Stephen Cable Jr. And I wouldn't have known it wasn't Ryan Coogler, and that's pretty much as big a praise as I can give him. There are a few issues. There's a blanket of cliches throughout the film. The message is a little bit forced and a little bit heavy-handed. And you're always going to get those Rocky cliches throughout the film. But overall, I really enjoyed Creed 2. I had a great time with it. It may not be as good as the first, but it is a very decent entry into the franchise. And I'm going to give Creed 2 an 8 out of 10. So there you go. There's my review of Creed 2. What did you think of this movie? Did you think it was as good as the first, or not so much? Where do you think it ranks in the overall Rocky standings? There's a hell of a lot of these movies now. And do you think there's going to be a third film? There probably is going to be a third film. Whether it's going to be any good, whether Stephen Cable Jr. comes back for that movie, or we get Ryan Coogler again, we will see. But, you know, hopefully they continue to be good, and hopefully they don't run them into the ground like they did last time. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye.